Actual suggestion. You're a good person.
I don't know if they're gonna let me in. You should make them let me in. Come make them let me in.
No.
Damn it. Alright, we'll go see.
Bring me back Terraria's flag.
I'll try.
I found this on the web.
Hi there.
Gamespot.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm an unscheduled live tour. I've got a live feed right now, which is why I'm being nice and not catching you.
Oh, okay.
I was just checking to see if there's any way I could get in. Talk to someone maybe? It's kind of a live deal, so it's just like whatever I can get. Yeah?
She's gonna take you in.
Thank you. Hello. Yeah, of course.
Multiplayer is 6-on-6. 12-player single-player experience is 6-1. Going right into a lot of keys down.
Yeah, of course.
Sure, I just started with him, so I can.
Sure.
And Christian should be back in a second. John Sweeney, by the way.
Colin, nice to meet you.
All right, nice to meet you. So I'll start over again,
Sure.
if you don't mind. So,
just so you know, this is a live stream.
okay.
So,
oh, wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, going now?
Yeah, we're going now.
All right, sweet. So, I'm sure you're familiar with the Takedown franchise. A lot of fans, a lot of followers of Christian Allen out there. So basically, Takedown came to us from Christian. He started out as a modder back in the day and did some modding for Red Storm. He got hired on for them. Got his following from there. Then he also moved on to doing like games like Ghost Recon, Halo, so forth and so on. Then he stopped out and started doing some game consulting. At that point, he had a following again, and then that's where Takedown comes, because the community came to him and said, "Hey, are you going to do your first-person shooter?" And he was like, "Okay, I will." So then he started that, started the Kickstarter, raised $200,000 from that, joined up with James Mayo, and formed this company. Then at the same time, ironically, is when Sony laid off some people from Zipper, and then Zipper had some personnel available, so Surveillance hired them on as well to join with them. So it's a lot of experience in a first-person shooter, and not only just a typical first-person shooter, but we're talking about hardcore tactical FPS gameplay. So it's you just get your main rifle weapon, you get your main sidearm, and you get a couple of grenades, and that's it. If you die, there's no respawn. You gotta wait for the mission to complete, or everyone to get killed, which happens more often than not. Then you wait to try the mission again. So it's very tactical, very strategic. The way they're building the levels is it's not just linear gameplay. It's multiple points of entry. There's multiple routes you can take to try to complete a mission. If you find that one thing we've been doing, like today when we're showing our HQ mission, is that as you go through, we find that, there's a lot of these kill areas. There's multiple points of where you could get taken out at, so we got to go another route. So we try to go the back way. So it's really just playing the game over and over again and finding what works out strategically from that standpoint, and then pursuing it. We also have several loadouts that you can do, so you want to build your team around that. You want to have a sniper guy for maps that have to cover you, and maps that have distance, but they won't be effective when it comes to CQB, which is close quarters combat. At that point, you want to have your guys, with machine guns or shotguns. One thing that they also doing is, which is unique to gameplay, is you have with your loadouts, is you may have your rifle and you have the extended silencer on it, but when your suppressor on it, right? Yeah. So if you come into close quarters, you know, you move your weapon, it may bump up against the wall in most games. Well, in this game, it actually goes down and it comes up, so that can also impact you too. I've been playing today where, in fact, I was like up against the wall, and I went down, turned, and there was a guy around the corner and shot me dead in the head, you know, before I could pull up my weapon.
That's
so,
cool.
Know, yeah, so it's very, you know, almost very, you know, sim, realistic, almost sim type of FPS gameplay.
That's really cool.
Yeah. Any particular questions or anything?
I think you covered pretty much all the cool points of it. Now, this looks like it's going to be a PC release.
So it's going to be PC on Steam. It's also going to be XBLA. For single player experience, you can we'll have they decided to go through and we're adding some AI that you can customize for you. You can customize your loadout so they can go around with you. So single player will be a 6-player, and we'll have a multiplayer, which is 6-on-6. Multiplayer, there's some really cool missions that we have. There's a manhunt mode. You can also do your typical co-op mode. You can also do you know, typical team deathmatch gameplay. There's a couple others that we don't want to announce yet, but
of course
we go down the line.
Have you guys discussed the launch date yet?
Right now, we don't have an exact date, but we're looking at September. It's right around September. You know, XBLA and Steam.
Nice. So I'm looking over my shoulder here at some of the gameplay on this side. Is it all right if I look at that?
Sure, go ahead. I can hop in.
Or we can hop in here, whichever you prefer.
Film off that screen.
Sure.
That's our better monitor.
Yeah.
It seems like so we're gonna hop in with them. And guys, want to reload the game? Sure. We'll hop in on. Yeah, hop in over here. So another thing while you're streaming, I want to point out is that when it comes to our gameplay, you know, a lot of communication has to take place.
And here's Christian.
And here's the Christian, here's the man right here.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Hi, nice to meet you. How's it going?
I'm doing pretty good. We're doing a live stream for Gamespot.
Oh, okay, cool.
And realized, you know, 505 is right next door to us. We need to go give those guys some love.
All right,
And
cool.
so here we are with Takedown, Red Sabre, which they just loaded up so that we could see how the gameplay functions. Now, the screen that I'm looking at here is this gentleman's screen specifically on the larger monitor. And it looks like he's using an RPG with the... or not.
It's an ACOG.
ACOG, okay.
The weapon is a CQBR.
CQBR,
With
okay.
an ACOG scope.
Alright.
Double check the courtyard.
Courtyard's down.
Courtyard looks clear.
Now, one of the things you guys might notice, they were stressing the realism of it. Okay, so he just poked his head around a corner, and it didn't give him a complete, you know, perfect view. It gave him a view equivalent to someone who's leaning diagonally outside of a corner.
He's down. Reloading.
And you can hear him also giving cues to his squad mates about what he's doing, so that they can be prepared to cover him as he reloads or sticks his head out.
Gonna dash over to the pillar. Not the pillar. Watching the front side courtyard. You got a tango in the front of the lobby. I have no visual on the front side of the lobby tango. So you guys are clear to cross to the cafeteria.
Cross the cafeteria to the exit.
Alright, going to the cafeteria behind you guys.
Watching the back of reloading. Watch the hallway.
All right, guys, coming up on your
Lobby looks
6.
clear.
Coming up on your 6.
Hallway's dead. Back at the hard drive.
Yeah, it's cool. It's like someone's like on the street. Hard drive destroyed. Going for the next one.
Watch the right.
I'm watching the right.
Got the hallway.
Watching stairwell.
Tango down on the right.
No, we're good, dude.
Oh, Tango down in the lobby.
Hard drive is good on the second one. We can go back.
Oh, Tango got me. To your left.
So now that he's dead, it switches to following another member of the party.
Run back home there.
Hey, going on stairwell.
Watching back.
This is looking pretty cool, man.
Oh,
Down.
Tango's keep down.
To left.
Two left.
You guys are on your own. Watching doors. It's a little tense now.
Yeah.
These guys are pretty good though. They've been practicing a lot, but we're still only at about a
It's a brutal game.
It is. Yeah, brutality is the name of the day. You got to really stick together, watch the corners.
Yeah.
Every time you start, the enemies' starting locations are randomized, and the control paths are randomized. So you can't just like, oh, I know this guy's going to be here. You got to play like this every time.
Right.
Yeah, they're not acting by moving slow and.
No. So now I see that he's switched to a kneeling position. I spent a lot of time yesterday talking to the guys at Bohemia Interactive. Are you familiar with them?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Army
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah. They're really cool guys.
Yeah.
Do you feature as well the gameplay of modifying your own level? Do you?
No. We basically got crouch and walk, and of course those affect the accuracy of your weapons and that as well. But in the CQB environment, definitely Arma's little tad bit larger than we are, both size-wise and iteration-wise. So we just have a basic stand and crouch. We do have the weapon collision in, so you saw the weapon going up and down. That's based on the actual length of the weapon. So a longer rifle is going to hit things farther away. Submachine gun to be able to get closer to the wall. To give you a little bit more.
Now, I think it was Jerry, was his name, mentioned the different loadouts, including the sniper rifle. Would you or do you incorporate the prone position with the sniper?
Negative.
Okay.
So, we looked at prone, and in a CQB environment, it's pretty rare that you're going to use a prone environment. Prone. And there was also a lot of bugs associated with it in a close quarters environment with people sticking through walls and things like that.
Right.
So for our title, we decided to stick with standing and crouch.
Okay. Cool. So how long have you been working on this game?
So we finished the Kickstarter on April 1st of last year, and we pretty much started kind of production in the May timeframe. So we're just right at about a year.
Cool. Now, obviously, this is a labor of love for you.
It is.
What are your favorite shooters? What did you take the most inspiration from?
Well, definitely, my formative shooter, I like to say, was the original Rainbow Six on PC.
Okay.
I gotten out of the military. I've been playing, Doom and Quake for a long time.
Right.
And I had a LAN group, and we'd get together every Friday night. We'd play some StarCraft and some Q3 test. And the first time, I actually got a copy of Rainbow Six. When I was in the Marines, the SWAT team, SEB team leader, gave me this copy of Rainbow Six. He's like, "Oh, you got to play this." The first time we played it, it was co-op, and my buddy Elliot said, we get into the map, and he says, "Now we announce our presence." He shoots up into the air, we're all dead.
Okay, that's actually just about to ask that. So we got this guy here shooting out windows. Why isn't the enemy charging his position?
They have a lot of different reactions to their position. Some of them are defending the area that they're in. So some of them, you're not going to get, I know everybody's just going to run around that corner.
Right.
So a lot of them are staying put in defensive positions. So they'll have kind of three reactions when they hear or see gunfire. And they've also all heard a lot of gunfire so far, as we've seen. They'll either take cover, change positions. They'll try to flank you. Sometimes they'll directly assault you. But what you don't want in a game like this is a lot of predictability of what they're going to do. So if you can just stand there and shoot, and everybody the whole level just rushes out and you mow them all down.
Right.
That's kind of not the thing that you want. So they have randomized reactions to what they're doing. One of the things that's missing from this build in Alpha is VO from the enemies. So that's not implemented yet. So a lot of times they're calling out what they're doing and things like that.
Okay. Now,
So he just decided to take cover.
yeah, another thing Jerry mentioned was the realistic loadout. You're walking into the environment with a set amount of material.
Correct.
Pardon me. Now, is this something where you can expect, like, if you had the time to refill your magazine out of enemy equipment, is that something that you could do?
Not right now.
Not right now.
We may implement a feature. So right now you can pick up enemy weapons. You can swap with them, but you only get the magazine that's in that weapon.
Okay.
So we're looking at a feature where you could actually strip mags off enemies if they're ammo matched yours. It's a little challenging because each weapon. A lot of weapons, they take different ammunition, different magazines. We also don't have a ammo pool like a lot of games do. Much like Armor that you saw before, we have the magazine counts. So that's not something we're planning on right now. Although if you do run dry, you can pick up enemies' weapons and use them, both in multiplayer and single player.
Okay. What else? You mentioned that there's no solid release date other than sometime in September.
Fall, yeah.
Fall, okay. For Steam and Xbox Live Arcade.
Correct.
Okay, cool. What do you feel makes Takedown a game worth buying over any other, or what makes it
or any other shooter in the
over
world?
any other shooter ever? No. What is the major selling point in your eyes? What makes it so great to you?
Well, there's a lot of things, and of course I can talk about a ton, but a lot of it is the non-linearity and the replayability. And with that combined with the lethality of the gameplay, the lack of respawns, what it does in both co-op and adversarial, and even in single player, just slows things down. So the pace is highly tense, highly lethal. It's about moving through the environment, watching your six, checking around. It's not about running down a long corridor and just mowing down thousands of enemies or running to the next cinematic or anything like that to watch a building explode. I think our art style of being like really modern and really clean kind of sets us apart, and really providing, we're not trying to beat, Call of Duty or Battlefield or Ghost Recon or Halo.
Yeah.
We're trying to be our own game. And so if you like Call of Duty, that's great. Go play Call of Duty and get kill streaks and pwn noobs. And then if you want something a little bit more, thoughtful and slow paced, you can check out Takedown as a digital download and enjoy something where every shot counts and backing your teammates counts, and it's a challenge that can be bring accomplishment with it.
There is one other question I want to ask. Now, obviously, this isn't a perfect, complete, finished product.
Yeah.
I've been watching this, and I see both with the players and the AI, a knee shot ragdolling someone to death. Are you going to incorporate later on disabling or
not disabling? So we basically simulate incapacitation. So we have he's actually taken this. He's got a 6.8 millimeter SPC AR, which if I kneecap you with that, you're out.
The leg is gone.
Yeah, it's
and
going
you will
to totally
bleed out in
you.
what, like 6 seconds?
Something like that. Yeah. So while we're not going to have, I'm down, I'm screaming, I'm slowly dying and shooting my pistol. We use we don't have the concept of hit points. So it's not that, he shot him in the knee and it went over his hit points and he died. There's a death percentage and there's a penetration percentage based on the body armor. These guys don't have any body armor on their legs. But once the bullet hits you, depending on your wound state, if you've been wounded before, the damage capacity of the round, it calculates whether it's going to kill you or not, or just wound you. You will have, if you get wounded in the leg, the idea is you won't be able to sprint after that. If you get wounded in general, your accuracy suffers. But it is really lethal combat. One of the balances in these kinds of games is, hey, I shot the guy in the foot, the foot with the 50 cal and he died. That seems weird. You shoot someone up in the legs or you hit femoral artery. You're down and out.
Well, thank you so much for talking about your game.
Cool.
It looks like, I've got friends who will play the crap out of this game.
Well, it's definitely targeted at a group of gamers that we think is underserved, and we're making a game for them.
Yeah. So, there's one buddy of mine specifically, his name's Anthony, and he was upset about Fallout 3, and then when Fallout New Vegas came out with the hardcore mode, where everything has weight. You
Yep,
have to
that's
eat
how
and
I
drink.
play it, baby.
Yeah.
I gotta drink water.
Yeah. Oh, I died of rads, but I didn't die of dehydration.
Yeah.
So yeah. Definitely, I think you're right. There is that niche of gamers who is completely underserved.
Very cool.
So thank you so much for your time. Thank you for making this game.
Yeah, thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Awesome. Is there a way for me to go later and like rewind the live stream, or is it all just gone on the internet?
It'll be on the internet. If you go to GameSpot, you can look it up. It'll be
Okay.
archived.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks very much. Oh, yeah, we should chat.
Thanks, man.
Thanks, sorry, I thought you guys were together.
No. Who wants to talk next? Hey there.
Hey, how's it going?
Doing pretty good. Are you talking about this game?
Yeah, I'm actually doing a demo on it. So you're interested?
Can you do it on camera?
Sure. Well, actually,
Someone specific for doing on camera?
yeah.
All right, sure.
What's your name?
My name's Colin. I'm with GameSpot.
All right.
Yeah, of course.
And then it gets more I'll do it the classic way. No, I haven't.
1 minute.
Yeah, of course.
I won't have all.
Okay.
Tim's going to do it for
Sure.
you. But it'll be 5 minutes.
That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Huh?
Can I bribe you with a drink?
What do you have?
Coke or Diet Coke?
Coke is fine.
Okay.